What is this, 32? 31?
31.
Yeah.
I think it's, well, fuck it. Who cares?
All right.
It's a few.
Welcome back, Touching Tips, Wilkie and Brennan. It's like episode 31, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get paid to fucking count these things.
We don't know. I like it more when we use funny names
Yeah.
to put the episodes down. You know what I mean?
Did I not do that last week?
There's one. I think episode 29 is just episode 29.
29.
We didn't put any effort into naming it.
Well, I'm a fucking busy man.
But I enjoy
Yeah.
coming up with the names.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's my boy Brennan coming up with the funny names.
Well,
I think
mean,
I've only insisted on naming one of them, being like, "Yo,
Well,
this one is called this."
I usually go through the episode and then figure out what stuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to introduce a new thing after you leave. I'm just going to play it back
Yeah.
immediately while I'm doing the rest of my errands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be like, all right, we got that. We got the name down.
All right. That works for me.
So,
All right. Well,
Well, just
California's on fire. What else we got? We got fucking.
yo, I got canceled from my fire insurance.
Did you?
Yeah.
How
I
does
got a note in the mail saying you got until like fucking the middle of February, or maybe it's even February 8th or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't even think they gave me a month to get this figured out, but they're like, your agent doesn't write fire insurance anymore or something like that. Like,
The fuck does that mean?
I don't fucking know. So I got to put my big boy pants on and figure it out when we get done with this.
What a bunch of
But it's
pieces of
just-
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
But I know California, like a bunch of people got dropped from the
Yeah.
fire insurance, like
Like-
right before this happened.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, there's like, have you gone? You have to know all of the conspiracies at this point,
yeah,
right?
come on, bro.
Well, because
I've been shooting him into my veins.
I was gonna say, yeah, nah, but some of them seem like, well, yeah, dude, this does seem very fucking weirdly timed, you know. On the same side, though, it's like I'm not worried about your Malibu beach house for the most part. Like, I'm sorry for the people who are like normal people, but like all these celebrities going on television and being like, I can't believe my house in the Palisades is
Yeah.
burning down. It's like, I don't give a fuck about you, dude.
Yeah, but I mean,
I
it might
wish you
be-
were fucking inside of it.
it might-
you know?
if they got canceled from their insurance, though,
What, the
do they have?
celebrities?
Do they
Fuck
have?
'em.
Do they have a come up though? Like I saw like the dude. He's the guy from Police Academy.
Oh, fucking goddamn it!
He was on the news.
Gutenberg, Steve
Yeah,
Gutenberg.
he's on the news, and like the reporter clearly doesn't know who he is. They just think he's
Yeah.
some dude on the street. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, what the fuck kind of income does Steve Gutenberg
I was gonna
have
say,
coming
well,
his way?
Steve
You know, like
Gutenberg-
unless he has like his investments and shit.
Yeah.
Like unless he was financially sound with his money, like you made a fucking movie in the 80s where the money
mean,
where
his-
inflation has pretty much negated anything that you've done. So if you lost your nest egg and you don't have an insurance payment coming back off of it, it's like, I don't know.
His name is Gutenberg. I'm sure he did fine with his money.
Nice. I don't know. Some of these guys might be fucking, tough decision away from getting butt fucked by Diddy when he gets out to.
Yeah, well, I mean, Steve Gutenberg too. Like, I would now put in the category of average guy. Like, I haven't seen him do much work since 3 Men and a Little Baby
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck it was. You know, but so I mean,
Well,
but
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
like when fucking who was it? There was fucking somebody was on fucking TV crying about their fucking mansion or whatever. James Woods, remember that fucking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I remember him more from like a Family Guy episode of people with some James Woods playing piano under an apple tree or
Yeah.
some shit. Like,
You know who James Woods is though, right? Have you ever seen Casino?
yeah.
Okay, he's like the scummy pimp guy, like with who like fucking befriend or is like friends with Sharon Stone.
I haven't
You
seen
haven't seen Casino enough if you haven't.
enough. Yeah.
Casino to me is like the best of all of those movies.
Here's what I remember from Casino.
Yeah.
The dude getting beat to death by bats in like the
fucking
cornfield.
brutal. Pesci.
Yeah.
Spoiler
And,
alerts for a 33-year-old movie.
Yeah. That might be it.
Yeah.
Like I watched this shit probably in like the 7th or 8th grade.
Oh,
And it
you
was
gotta-
when you had to put the second VHS cassette in.
Nice.
Because the movie was so
Yeah.
long.
Braveheart was another one of those.
I've never seen that.
Did I? What?
We've talked about this.
We have?
I've
Okay.
never seen no Braveheart in my life.
All right. I officially have to start a list of things that are just like, you just have to see that movie. Like, how have you not seen Braveheart? Like, I don't even know how could you have been a person who lived through the 90s and 2000s without seeing that movie? It was like a literal cultural touchstone.
When did it come out?
Like 94, 95 probably. It won Best Picture. And it's like one of the most quoted movies of all time. It's also like, if you were did you play a sport or something? I feel like every sports team I ever played on, like the coach like made you watch that movie in front of like a big game or something like that, you know?
Nah.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
I never played organized. All of the organized team activities that I played ceased to exist when I moved to Florida.
Yeah, okay.
Like I moved to Florida and I only played like solo sports after that. Like I was
that makes
never on the
sense.
high school or middle school basketball, football, baseball team. And also I was like a fucking like metalhead in school too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wore like Marilyn Manson t-shirts and painted my nails black and shit. Like that's why I know painting your nails is gay because I've been there. You know what I mean? Like I've shed this personality defect that I used to have. I became a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a discussion at work actually yesterday where two guys were arguing whether or not it was gay to watch porn where a trans woman is having sex with another woman. I was like,
yes.
I was like, how is that gay?
You're gonna be loose on this because you're loose on all this shit. But that's fucking gay. That's gay. It's 100% gay. If you're
How
watching
is that gay, though?
if you're watching trans porn, you're fucking gay, and I don't want to have Thanksgiving with you. Don't touch the fucking like. Bring your own utensils. I don't know where your hands have been.
All I know is I'm just telling you from like the physiological standpoint. It's like if there's dick going into a vagina, how can that be gay? You know, like I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm going out watching gay porn or fucking trans porn, but I'm just like I think if you want to get technical, you can't call that gay. It's not gay. That's still a man that was.
If you're like
that's P and V, baby.
Yeah, but like if you're like a fucking bro rolling around with breast implants, you're probably gay.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying
like you're watching a gay guy fuck. You know what I mean? Like just like.
There's an interesting one then. All right. So what if a gay guy does straight porn? Is that gay?
Yeah.
How?
You're still watching like a naked gay dude come.
Yeah, but like he's
gay.
It's a P.
And also
P&V,
now
man.
I'm taking that particular lady actress out of my I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've accidentally come across that in my life. You know what I mean? Like you click on a lady of the night that you might really like, and then all her stuff comes up, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing in this one?"
Yeah.
That's what you're into, lady? I can't fuck with you anymore.
I will say with porn sites and like their thumbnail game, it's like you do get fooled every now and again where you're like halfway through and all of a sudden the dick comes out and you're like, "Whoa!"
Like how many times how many times have like a fucking like especially back in the day when you used to have to like fucking download like a little 3-minute movie?
Yeah.
Like it
would take you like 6.5 hours.
Remember there'd be like 3 little mini movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'd have to like download each one and then put them in like the media player to see
all
the
of them
whole
together.
thing in its entirety. But like how many times did you get gut being like, oh yeah, just download these 3 and then move on to the next page. Download those 3, move on to the next page. Like I used to just build little archives, you know what I mean? And then I wouldn't have to put any work in for a few weeks.
Right.
They'd all just be queued up. But every now and then I'd just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like if my lady ever got into my computer and was like, oh, let me see what he's into.
Yeah.
And she just stumbled across the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then you get broken up with because you like trans porn, and then she tells all her girlfriends that you like trans porn, and really you just downloaded the wrong thing by mistake.
I feel like this is a story you're telling me
It's
now.
not, but I feel for anybody that may be in this. Like, I don't think you could get me to be more embarrassed if you were like, I got some fucking gay dirt on Wilkie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, no.
I'm
no.
found out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I think there's, especially when it comes to porn, dude, I feel like in that period of time, there wasn't as much of like weird porn. Now it's like fucking everywhere. I think we're like on a slide. You know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's not, dude, by the time my kids have kids, man, like those kids aren't going to be able to like bust a nut unless somebody is like literally like, jackhammering them with a fucking
Your kids are
14-inch
like,
dildo while wearing like clown makeup. It's like, we're fucked as a
like
society.
This close to like their genitals atrophying themselves, and you're just like emailing your genetic profile to someone to mix together.
I don't know, man.
In a batch for you.
I don't think that'll ever happen because I think we're just becoming more like perverted and fucking gross as the years go on. Like as if we can figure out a way to fuck anything, we'll fuck it. Like that's basically what our whole society is devolved
Like, dude,
into.
there's gonna be like some time where you just like you don't even jerk off anymore. You just like lay down in this chamber, and there's like something on your cock and something in your ass, and something on your face.
Well, not yet.
And a VR thing on there.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's some hottie riding you while some other one's grinding in your face.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then you just like wake up from this. What would you even call it?
Dystopian nightmare?
Yeah, this hallucination.
Yeah.
With like Randy Marsh edition fucking come all over you. You're like, oh fuck.
Ghosts! Ghosts! That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, South Park. I fell off on watching South Park.
No, I haven't watched it in years. It's
I don't think I've
it was good though. Like when I stopped watching it, I stopped watching it because there was enough time in the day to watch it. Yeah.
Well, also, I think I like stopped watching it too, like when I cut cable. Like when it wasn't just like TiVo'd on DVR, and I was like, oh, well, let me see what catch up on this.
Well, that's just it.
Now everything's on a different fucking app, and I don't have time to fucking pay attention to any of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch it when it was on Comedy Central. I don't even that doesn't even exist anymore. I don't even know what the fucking like channel it's even on. Yeah. So fuck
Channel 61. That's all I know.
Yeah, it was 58 back in Connecticut.
Hey, I remember Comedy Central on 58 too.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I mean, it's talking about comedy. I guess just bring into this thing that I stumbled across about Richard Pryor betting Eddie Murphy $100,000 that he couldn't make a non-comedy album.
Yeah,
and then he didn't pay up.
What an asshole!
I mean,
He's too busy lighting himself on fire while smoking crack.
The more I think it's like Eddie Murphy's like talking about this like 20 years later being butthurt about his $100K, but it's like you made $100,000 bet with a crackhead, and you thought he was going to pay up.
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame on you, and maybe karma paid its way forward by making you get caught with that transvestite hooker in the back of your car. How do you live that down? How do you go on to meet the clumps and all this shit? You know what I mean? When you're fucking tranny hookers. I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, Hugh Grant did it too. Now he's back again. Hugh Grant did it. She cheated on a.
I wonder.
What's his name? What's her name? Fucking Elizabeth Hurley. She was hot.
Yeah,
the Boston
that's brutal.
Powers chick. Yeah. Cheated on her with a tranny hooker.
I mean, that brings me to like an interesting story. Am I having a weird? How I say the timelines are concurring because for a long time in my life, I just found this out today. I thought Helen Keller was a black lady. And you know what I mean? I just got this little factoid mixed up. And it's like, did I just substitute Hugh Grant in for Eddie Murphy fucking transvestite hookers?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Are you thinking Eddie
I'm going to have to, this was law. Like, I didn't even bother to fact check this. Like, I know Eddie Murphy.
You said it so confidently that I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think I remember. But
now that you said that Hugh Grant got caught doing the same thing, I'm like,
Hugh Grant with Eddie Murphy.
I don't know, bro, you know?
All right, well, let's go to fucking Google.
Yeah, you got to check it.
Yeah. Did Eddie
But anyway,
Murphy.
While you're looking at that, I'll expound whatever the fuck the word is more upon this. Like, so Eddie Murphy makes that one song called Party All the Time.
Yeah.
Right? And then I started looking into it, and I found a video of Eddie Murphy like in the studio making Party All the Time. And really, this album is just a Rick James album.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Murphy just went and hung out with Rick James for 2 weeks in the studio and did the vocals on an album made by Rick James.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
does it count is what you're saying?
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think of basically you made an entire album of like when Kanye put Jamie Foxx on.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx was good though.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but he's a fucking actor. Yeah. And he's got like this little one song with Kanye.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, I didn't know he was that talented.
Yeah.
And like Eddie Murphy does it for an entire album, and it's really just like he just showed up and they gave him like the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know
Probably
what I mean?
Banged it out in an afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't think he wrote any of the songs. I don't think he came up with any of the melodies.
Yeah.
Like he's a fucking Chester Bennington industry fucking plant, bro.
Whatever. You're talking about Axel Foley, so you better fucking calm down with that shit.
Who's that guy? Why do I know that name?
Please tell me you've seen Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know his name was Axel Foley in that. But I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop enough to be quoting it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Number one's fucking great.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like while you were watching all of these movies, I was just watching Commando on repeat.
Jesus Christ.
You hear that?
Yeah, what is that? I think that's coming from the laptop. Something is hooked up to your laptop where it's like pinging. Whatever. Fuck it.
Say, your wife is being kidnapped, and it's that iMac is trying to tell you, but you guys are just doing a podcast right now.
Your wife is in a cargo container, like bound for fucking Eastern Europe.
That's a great transition into who should put their wife in a cargo container bound for Eastern Europe, and that's your boy Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
what the fuck is his wife doing? You know what she's yapping about?
Well, like that she fucked some other dude.
Yeah, banging some other quarterback and stuff, and she just won't shut up. It's like, bro, like just develop some like CTE, accidental CTE spasm, and get that shit in check, bro. Like, what are you doing?
She went from being like a very sympathetic like figure to she's kind of like used all of her fucking
like basically she was like, well, he didn't want to get serious with me, so I fucked his back up instead. Like, what? Even if that was true and I had gotten over it, like and my wife was just like, I'm gonna casually put this on my Facebook story.
Yeah,
I would immediately turn into one of the best running backs in NFL history,
right? Rather
than a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I would stab her in the night and then go on a chase.
You'd OJ her?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, or not like I said, but I think she's absolutely, at the time, if that was how it went down, that's how it went down. If they got through it, whatever. To me, the problem is then bringing it up 20 years later. Like, do we need to be talking about this right now?
Because I think she has a podcast. You know what I mean? So you're like doing all of this. It's like, what do you need to make this?
I have a podcast. I'm not telling my fucking wife about like shit that I did.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think we do go there, but I doubt either one of our wives are listening to our podcast.
My wife did for a while. I don't think she does anymore.
I would.
And even then, I think she was only doing it just to like be like, you can't talk about that shit. Like, all right, fine.
Oh, she was like doing it to be like,
censor me.
Yeah. She's like, I'm the fucking landlord. You better watch out.
She is the boss.
You see this guy? He's like a stand-up comedian. He's kind of fat, and his shtick is that he used to do meth. He's got like a mustache. He has like a bass tattooed on one arm and like an AK-47 on the other.
I don't think
he's like a big white guy.
Yeah,
with a belly. But he has like a
fat crystal meth addict.
Yeah, he has like a whole stand-up shtick about how his wife is like really his landlord.
Yeah,
and he's like, so I don't even think about cheating in the wintertime.
It's fucking cold outside.
We got to find his name and give him some love because he's funny. But yeah, I don't know. What else do I want to say about? I mean, to transition from the Eddie Murphy thing on Raw, I'm pretty sure he's rolling around in like a fucking leather onesie in some fingerless gloves, which are one of my favorite accessories.
Yeah.
And tell you about the last man I waited on in fingerless gloves. He was also a rare combination of being a vest guy and obnoxious watchman. He kind of reminded me of like the Unabomber Manifesto guy that used to go into XO. Did you ever come into contact with that dude? He like lived around there and like a city plow would like fuck this shit up.
Yeah,
he drank like Makers on the rocks with a splash of water.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I do remember that dude.
Yeah, if you ever got him talking about some shit, you were like,
yeah, well, I think I did once, and after that, I was like, I'm not talking to you again.
Yeah. Fuck, why was I just talking about that guy? Oh,
fingerless glove guy.
He might have been a fingerless glove man. But anyway, because that guy kind of would rock the same shit. You know what I mean? Like I could see him having the vest on and shit. But anyway, so this man does not remove his fingerless gloves to eat his breakfast.
Yeah.
Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, man dressed like this drinking Pinot Grigio with his breakfast. What the fuck? Like, and that's also on the side note, if you're a man and you order white wine, what the hell are you doing?
There's a time and a place.
What?
It's
when
not
you
at breakfast.
When you eat fucking water bugs? When you have a shrimp scampi?
If I went out to dinner and wanted to have like a Sauvignon Blanc with like with my scallops or something, sure.
Yeah, but like fucking dude with tits fucking for dessert. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, so this guy, he fucking gets his breakfast. He gets 2 glasses of wine. He asks me for well-done bacon. His bacon doesn't come out well done enough. If you ask me, it comes out well done. It doesn't come out fucking burnt into bits where you can karate chop it into shards.
Yeah.
So he says, can you take this off my plate and make it more well done? And I say, no, I can't do that. For anybody else, that's fucking retarded enough to sit in a hospitality environment and be like, can you take this food off my plate that I've been eating on and put it back on the grill that everybody else is going to eat off of?
Yeah.
Can you do that? No, you can't. And like every 3 years, I have to take a silly online test that tells me to tell you that I can't do things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I say, sir, I can charge you for another side of bacon, and I'll make sure that they burn it into bits for you. He agrees.
Yeah.
He gets his bacon, he asks me for the check. And then he looks at his check, and now it strikes me. I'm like, I don't know how I didn't know this wasn't
going to be a problem.
High-functioning autist in action right now. You know what I mean? Fingerless gloves, funny watch, vest wearing on the inside. Obviously, he calculated how much his tab was going to be exactly in his head with his high-powered fucking retard math skills. And he goes, I forgot what the tab was, but he goes, how? And then he starts looking at it. And he goes, dude, you charged me for that side of bacon? I said, yeah, you're at the airport. Remember all of the bells and whistles and hoops you had to jump through just to get back into this part of things?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing free here.
Yeah. Welcome to commerce, man.
Yeah. Like, unfiltered tap water is free here.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm not even giving you a straw unless you ask me for it. So anyway, I say, let me see what I can do for you about this. And really, like, I have the power to void it if I want to.
But you don't want to.
I don't want to. I just want to make him feel like a fucking jabroni.
Yeah.
And without missing a step, this guy's sitting on the semicircle of the bar. So he's at, like, seat 1, and I have another guest at seat 4. And seat 4 sees me, like, turn around to, like, start messing with the check, and he goes, hey, man, I just want to let you know that my bacon is outstanding today. And I couldn't hold it in. I was like, yo, yes. And this guy was already, like, I had already run his card. I had taken the bacon off, and he had $2 in his hand that he was like, I don't know if he was trying to hand this to me as like a chump or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy fucking says that shit, and he just puts $1 on the bar and like walks away as like,
waddles away. Yeah.
Nah, he was like he wasn't a fat guy.
Yeah.
But the way that he walked away and got all flustered and shit, I was like, yo, and you suspect. And you suspect, bro. You were hiding it well the whole time.
Yeah.
But the truth came out when you got mad and flustered.
Was he hiding it well with fingerless gloves?
I don't know. I mean, is that a marker? If you knew about fingerless gloves and you saw Eddie Murphy Raw, you knew what was coming in the backseat of that car.
There you go.
And it was Eddie Murphy
I don't know
into a transvestite.
I was going to say, I don't know if you heard me confirm it, but he did get busted for picking up a tranny hookie.
I did.
Like 4:45 a.m. in like Santa Monica.
Oh, I thought it was in New York City.
No, it was like and to boot, it was like in a area of L.A. that was like famous for homosexual prostitutes. So
yes, you couldn't even really claim.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
You're like, nah, Eddie, like you know what that street is.
So,
but I mean, speaking of like funny suspect revealing, I caught my barber the last time I was in there. I don't know why this song came on in this mix. Oh, because he watches these like these DJ sets.
Yep.
On like YouTube or whatever, you know what I mean? So like it'll show them like mixing the stuff, and so the guy throws on that "Cher, Do You Believe in Love, Life After Love" or whatever song.
Do you believe?
Yeah. So he starts singing along to it, and he's like a fucking Dominican, like Cape Verdean fucking mix of some shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I go, you don't know about this song? And he goes, what? I go, this is the song that you use to figure out if you're in a gay bar or not. And he goes, what the fuck? And I go, if you sing this song out loud in a bar and people start singing along with it to you, you're in a gay bar.
Yeah, it's a call and response.
And I go, so it's like, I hate to break it to you, Jerry, but I've been getting my hair cut in a gay fucking barbershop this whole time. You just ruined it.
Is that gay?
Dude, I be getting a gay haircut, bro. He puts this little fucking pad on and gives me like a facial and fucking hot towel and a little massage gun.
Yeah. Jerks off on your face.
Maybe. He does send me all these funny things where barbers be getting like way too close. And I'm like, I hope this isn't like buttering me up. I'm planning being like, oh, I'm going to get Wilkie with this.
Yeah.
He's going
to be in there like edging your fucking sideburns, and all of a sudden he's just going to give you a quick little peck.
Yo, I saw
this
other funny thing that was like, yo, RIP to the days like 15 years ago when we thought long sideburns were the shit.
Yeah.
And it just showed all these dudes. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I used to fucking have that shit. Like,
we all did.
It was clearly,
it was the early 2000s.
Clearly just a straggly beard picking up where you're. And I remember this kid, this viral video, it might have even been on Vine back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's like a dude like lifting up his fucking, you know what I mean?
Like it was like a comb over.
A comb down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That was like the starter kit though for like you need to have the long sideburns with like the checkered like plaid like polo shirt like button down cargo shorts and then tickets to like Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah,
like that was like and there was like a fucking billion dudes like that in the fucking 90s and 2000s.
Dude, I remember one time sitting like in my college dorm and we're just talking music and stuff. Like we like a lot of like. There's a lot more like music going on when I was in like my first few years of school than sports or anything else. Like we're all jamming out, And I remember being like, man, like Dave Matthews isn't like really my particular cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that kind of music. And this was still like when MTV2 played videos at night.
Right, yeah.
And that's what we were listening to. And then the Dave Matthews like solo video for Gravedigger comes on and like we just all shut the fuck up and like listen to it as a whole for the first time. And I was like, all right, so everything I kind of said about Dave Matthews, I fucking didn't know what I was talking about.
Are you a Dave guy?
Huh?
Do you listen to Dave Matthews?
No.
But
I heard that Gravedigger song, and I said, yo, motherfucker's deep. Like,
I don't know.
Like,
I didn't even know that song.
I just at that point, I just found out, oh, like, he is, like, I respected his artistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's a great guitarist, but his fan base are a bunch of fucking losers.
Yeah, like, every time I see somebody post about
Dave.
Well, I mean, one of my best friends, Tyler, he used to work with us.
Yeah.
But
he's a Dave guy. He strikes me as
they'll
a Dave
go
guy.
to the shows all the time, like him and his wife. But my man Tyler can play music. Like, he's very musically inclined.
Yeah.
Like, he can do the guitar with all, like, the foot pedal, re-loop shit.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what's up. And they post about it all the time. And a few other people I see, I'm like, yo, like, I want to go, but we're going to get stuck hanging out with these motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Like, everybody in Rhode Island. You're going to get stuck on the blanket next to this motherfucker, Like,
that's just it. I feel like Dave Matthews Band were for, like, the next generation of people who, like, wanted to be kind of like hippies but didn't have the balls to do a lot of drugs. So you just go up to these shows and they'd just be like a bunch of fucking frat bros getting shit-faced, like, while, like, crying on each other, like, on their shoulders, It's like, this ain't my scene, Like, who listened to Dave Matthews Band? Every time you go to a fucking bar and three grown men, like, see each other and hug each other, they're all Dave Matthews Band fans. Like, all of them. Like, I'm sorry, but there'll never be a point in time where I'll walk into a bar and just, like, hug my friend. Be like, I haven't seen you in so long. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Sit down and drink your fucking beer.
What about like are you talking like a hug?
Yeah, hug. Yeah, these men who hug each other.
Like, do you put a more like? What about like a fucking like a more aggressive? Is that still a hug?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even like those, but like I've done them before.
Because I feel like I've been making you do that to me when you leave my bar sometimes.
Yeah. That's all right though.
Like, I'm just letting you know I fucking put up with it. I like
yeah, I was gonna say it's not my favorite thing, but it's all right.
All right, check. I can't be hating on the T-porn and
hugging dudes. But that's more of like
hugging.
Yeah, I'm talking like dudes that like literally embrace. Like there's like they're hugging each other, they're holding, and then they like give like the shake, and then they release. It's like we don't need to do that.
It's been a while since I smelled your cologne.
If you want to do like the pat like that one, that's all right.
Yeah.
Like that's acceptable. But dudes out there like just straight up like having moments with each other.
Yeah, you're like I gotta hurt you on like a level 4.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm not gay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, speaking of other gay things I've seen men do at the barbershop, I saw like a man my age with a child. They're both in for haircuts. Yeah, gay. But he got a design in the side of his head.
Yeah. Well, was it like in tandem with the kid? Like the kid wanted to get a design, so he got a design?
I don't think the kid got a design.
Okay, then that's ridiculous.
Either way, it's ridiculous. Like,
I don't know. You didn't have something stupid shaved in your head as a kid?
Yeah, when I was like 7 and Vanilla Ice was cool.
Yeah,
you had like the fucking
bolts.
zigzags. Yeah, but like not a fucking design.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is the kid though. The kid didn't get a design.
I'm pretty sure the kid did not get a design. Like full-blown adult man, like trying to convince his kid, like, look how cool your dad is.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the times. It's like, bro, you're 35 and a dad.
Yeah.
You're not fucking cool anymore.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel like the only way to be cool as a dad is to embrace the fact that you're not cool anymore.
That's like another thing that I don't get either is like single women that even entertain the prospect of being a stepmother.
Okay.
Like, why the fuck would you put yourself in the position to do that?
For the
even a single fucking guy doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've seen a few rabbit holes where like these guys like it's like all these like empowered women that have like 3 kids with 3 different men and they go on the show and just get trashed by like dudes with like conservative viewpoints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where they're just like, why do you have 3 fucking children.
But it's not even about the kids from the guy's standpoint. It's like now you have 3 other dudes that I have to deal with in my life as well.
Yeah, that shit doesn't ever
that
go away.
That have all fucked you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah, and they'll be at every fucking... Well, they probably won't be at every birthday, but, like you might have to run into these fucking guys again.
Oh, you're going to co-parent with them.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
if you're the kind of dude who's knocking up some bitch that already has 2 kids, you're probably not the kind of guy sticking around anyway.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, that just comes back to the fact, like, we've talked about that male archetype of a brain that just, like, comes inside every time he has sex.
Yeah.
Like,
can't pull out of a parking spot.
Are there more of them rolling around than we know of?
What do you mean? Like, just dudes that are just pumping loads?
Yeah, like, just, like, not, like, you would think that would be, like, a 2-person agreement, right? Not just, like, because to these guys, I feel like their brain operates like this. This girl agreed to have sex with me, therefore she's agreeing to have a baby with me if it does happen.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do anything to prevent it from happening. Like, I'm just busting inside hoping that she's not menstruating.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works, right? Like, she has to be...
I know not sex works.
She has to be ovulating, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're just hoping that the timing is off. That's your natural prophylactic. You're not having a conversation with this lady.
I mean, I think there's obviously different cases.
If you did have a conversation with this lady who you're hooking up with that you don't have a vested long-term relationship with, and you say, hey, I'm going to come inside you, you would think if she's not mentally disturbed, she'd be like, no, the fuck you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like
some chicks aren't. Yeah, some...
I guess. Like, I just remember
some are just like, yeah, go ahead. There's another check for me every fucking month.
I remember one time being a single man and putting my unwrapped dick near a vagina and the girl being like, what do you think that you're doing with that?
Yeah.
I think she even said thing. What do you think you're doing with that thing? You know what I mean? Like, it was a non-negotiable
Yeah,
to
just
her.
No.
No. Yeah, like, and I wasn't mad. I was, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, these guys that are just doing this, it's like it's like there has to be a hunting season on them. Like, we have to get the population of them down.
Yeah.
Down
I
below.
Don't know. I got to admit, it's been a while since I've had unprotected sex with a stranger, but in my lifetime, I think I could count on one hand how many times I've used a rubber. Like, I'm just...
Yeah, but you're pulling out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any other kids, so yeah. I'm just saying, like, if anybody...
Well, yeah, you're not playing the fucking Russian roulette lottery of coming,
yeah.
like...
Oh, that's not true, actually. I've come at them a few times. Yeah. I had a fucking crazy ex in college that, like, I think was actively trying to get me to get her pregnant. I don't know. Well, no, actually, she ended up having a kid, but, like, much later in life. But she was the fucking girl... Did I tell you this story? The one that, like, showed up at 10 Prime, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end, she would do the fucking leg lock thing, which she would just be like, fucking wrap her legs around me, and I'd just be like, oh, Christ, all right, well, I just came. Sorry. But yeah, she was like really trying to get pregnant by me.
I feel like that's the only way you could get me to resort to domestic violence. Like, if you tried to you tried to put me in a sharpshooter that made me come inside you, I'd be like, fuck no, you get punched in the face.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're taking me again. You're raping me right now. You're taking me against my will.
Well, at the time I was...
You were young and dumb.
Yeah, I was young, dumb,
and emptied
depressed,
out of cum.
drunk, and yeah, whatever. Like, fuck it, yeah, give me a kid. I don't give a shit.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same type of person that would come into a restaurant and decide that the plugs are fair game.
So just unplugging shit? And, yeah.
From plugging stuff to unplugging stuff.
Yeah.
I had that happen this week.
Yeah.
Of like a full-blown adult man. Like, I could see if like a teenager or like a little kid did it that's like an iPad fucking fiend.
Yeah.
And their
just had to get his fix.
Shit died. Yeah. It was like a full-blown like 50-year-old man that had like unplugged the fucking brain, like the main hub computer that everything like bounces off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, it's only me and one server, and like most of the time a manager that is spread far too thinly to be there right away to be like, oh, did you try this? So like, no, we don't have computers. You know what I mean? We're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we're not out of power. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, we don't understand what the hell's going on. You know, I'm trying to turn my shit on, unplug it, plug it back in. So now my bar system is resetting because I think my shit's the issue. You know what I mean? The server can't ring anything in. She's like, fuck, what do we do? She's like starting to write stuff down to verbal it to the kitchen to get stuff out. And then she realizes what this guy did.
Did she just like went to the outlet and was just like, "What the fuck is this?"
I didn't see how it went down, but I wish that it was me that would have done it because I would have made a big scene about it.
I would have embarrassed the shit out of that
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
And so I don't know how it all played out, but just that is wild to me to think that you can just walk into a restaurant and
walk
like,
in anywhere and just unplug something. It's like, you don't fucking
anything.
live here,
like
dude.
I get it if there's like a bare socket in the wall, like especially at the airport, people are trying to charge stuff all the time.
Yeah,
but like. To like physically be like, oh, they probably don't need this.
Whatever this is,
like nothing happened when I unplugged this. Like none of the lights turned off or anything. You know,
the alarms didn't go off, so I guess this must be okay.
Yeah, I just wish I had like a physical image of this man in my head because I don't. I don't know what he looks like.
Fuck, man, fucking something's stuck in my throat.
I mean, that does give me a funny transition into what a good penalty for that man would be, and that's shooting Roman candles at him.
Where did you see this? Was like just on like a TikTok video or something? Or?
It was my barber was I don't know. I guess trying to prove that he wasn't gay, and he was showing me funny Roman candle videos. Or no, just one.
Because I mean, nothing makes you less gay than just like fireworks and spectacle.
No. Well, no, I would disagree. I hate firework guys. But I think what happened was I told my barber he was a homo for singing Cher. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, did you see all that other gay stuff that I sent you about the barber being suspect and shit? So we were like going through this thing. And then I don't know what. It's some video that I sent him. And it's like if she don't love me like this, I don't want her.
Yeah.
And it's like a video of like a guy giving a girl a Roman candle for the first time. And she just immediately starts following him around and like hitting him with
Firing him with it.
And I was like, dude, that chick is fucking awesome. If that's like her first thought is like, let me fucking shoot him with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I think we just started talking about that. And then he sent me this video of like the dude that like, it's like he put like something inside of a road cone so he could hold it on his arm. Yeah. And then he wrapped Roman candles all the way around the fucking thing. Yeah. And so now he looks like a fucking like Sentinel from X-Men or something. Just and he's got two of them. You know, just launch him. And it's like a 5-minute long video. Like by the end of the video, there's so much smoke that you can't even really see what's going on anymore. And so my barber sends me this, and I go, bro, I've seen all these fucking videos. Like, you haven't even seen the guys on motorcycles yet. Like, there's dudes, like, mounting them on the motorcycles, just fucking doing wheelies. Yeah. Launching them on, like, a bridge in New York or some shit. And I just thought, we got to do that to each other.
Yeah. We used to...
or at least, like, next time one of your sons has, like, a fucking birthday party or something, we should plan it where, like, all the adults just come in. With,
firing
like,
Roman candles at each other?
Fucking, you got to make them sign a waiver, maybe, the parents.
We used to
kids' friends.
We used to have bottle rocket fights where we would just run around fucking lighting bottle rockets and fucking shooting them at each other. I was
See, dude, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a lot less predictable.
Yes.
Like
they fucking went everywhere.
Yeah, the trajectory on a bottle rocket, like I can only like if you did the Roman candle road cone thing with bottle rockets.
Yeah.
I don't even think that you could safely predict that you would not be struck.
Oh no, you probably
by the projectiles that you are
a couple of them
off.
probably would just like come back and pop at you.
Like you need like a motorcycle helmet at the very least to like protect yourself.
Well, we were like 14-year-olds in the middle of the woods in Connecticut. Like we would just do fucking crazy shit like that, shooting. I had like a bunch of friends who like I had one friend. I don't know if I told you the story about the guy in the trailer or whatever. Like the.
When you would go buy drugs?
Yeah. Well, that same kid, though, he would also have, like, an exorbitant amount of, like, fireworks at all points in time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he would just be, like, lighting off, like, M80s and M100s and shit, like, fucking, like, quarter sticks of dynamite, basically, just, like, launching them into fucking ponds and just, like, watching all the fish float to the surface. Yeah, they were fucking crazy, though.
Like every time the cops come here and think I'm a drug dealer, they see the fireworks and they say, let them be.
There's no cops in that town, man. There's like 3 police officers for the whole fucking town, dude. I grew up with kids who like had like assault rifles and would just take them in the woods and just shoot them. Like nobody was fucking coming around. Nobody was calling the cops.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it was until some kid, I watched a kid shoot some other kid's thumb off. That was fun. Yeah. He was like drunk. Tried to like William Tell it and basically be like, oh, shoot the fucking beer can out of my hand. The kid was just like, pap, book, thumb off. That was the moment where I was like, I don't want to handle guns. I'm done with
I'm
these.
moving to Rhode Island.
Yeah, I was like, these people are fucking nuts.
Is it so? Did the thumb get reattached?
Thumb got reattached. They put it on ice and got him to the hospital. But yeah, it was all
Does it
fucking
still
mangled.
work?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, probably
As much as it can.
I mean, I haven't seen this kid in 20-something years, so probably.
I used to have this manager that had like a fucked up thumb, and I would see him like counting money.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the fuck happened to this guy? Like, he's got like an Achilles thumb. Maybe he just played with fireworks.
I guess so. Fucking,
shout out to my boy Jason Pierre-Paul.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
We helped Tommy win a Super Bowl, number 7.
Yep. Well, you don't need both your hands to tackle people.
I'm pretty sure he's got to be like the man to sack Patrick Mahomes with the least amount of fingers on his resume.
I mean, is that a Guinness Book of World Record?
Bro, did we talk about this? How Ocho Cinco was talking to Deion Sanders on his podcast, and Ocho was like asking him to be like a coach.
The toes.
And he goes, I'll get out there on the field, da da da. And then Deion, he's like, I'll show him, I'll be the best teacher. And then Deion's like, well, what happens when I get out there and start playing defense? And they're like, you ain't gonna do nothing on your 8 toes. And Deion just,
you got no balance.
Deion just fucking shut the laptop. I was like, you fucking guys, like, fuck you. I'm not on your podcast no more.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old fucking retired NFL players making horrible mistakes, Cam Newton working on ESPN.
It would just be such poetic justice if he gets fired for stealing laptops. If that could be a thing, that would make me so happy.
Yeah. He like somehow looks more like a old Russian lady every single time I see him. Like who's planning his outfits? He has like
I think it's him.
Yeah, I guess. He has like scarves and like babushkas on his head. It's like, what is going on?
It makes me think of like a Borat line where he's like, if you let a woman be a journalist, it's like giving a monkey a gun.
Yeah.
And it's like letting Cam Newton dress himself.
Yeah.
It's like giving a monkey a gun.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming, guys. My bad.
You just fucking Howard Coselled yourself.
Yeah. Wow.
Quick segue out of that.
Well, I mean, I could take it even darker in the fact that I saw Cam Newton jumping off of a boat onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
And is that because he fucking can't swim?
Yeah, probably.
Bang! Bang! What? How about the meme that somebody turned that into? It was like, motherfucker can do all this, but he can't dive
Jump
on
on
a
a ball.
fumble in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What did Cam Newton lose that Super Bowl? That's a Peyton Manning beating him?
Yeah, that was Peyton. Yeah.
That should have been Tom Brady beating him.
The
Patriots blow that AFC Championship game at the end.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady throws a red zone interception.
Yeah.
Where they would have gone up to win. And that's also the season that they put Rob Gronkowski in on like defense against Miami.
Really?
Remember that?
I don't remember that.
There's like a Miracle in Miami game where it's like the last game of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And they score this long touchdown.
Yeah.
And Gronk is back on defense and he misses the tackle and the guy scores.
That made it
and
so
I'm pretty sure it's
out
Brandon fucking Bolden, a former Patriot, that does that to us. I'm pretty sure it is. And we lose home field advantage because of that, and we lose that AFC Championship game in Denver.
Yeah.
Another loss ring from Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, he has a few. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just like to think that like he could have won them all for a long time, and like it would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, he has plenty. He'll be okay.
I mean, he's not coming back.
No. Well, actually, yeah. Well, do you even give a shit anymore? Like about the Patriots? Like,
yo, you want to talk about me being fired up, bro? I've been watching fucking Mike Vrabel highlights for 2 days now.
Say, like, yeah.
I will admit, the first like 3 Super Bowls of the Patriots dynasty, I'm way more into music and drugs. Like, I love repping New England. I think it's sick that my New England teams are winning while I'm living in Florida.
Yeah.
Especially because all my friends are from like New York and South Jersey.
Yeah.
So like around that time, I watched the fucking Red Sox come back from the fucking from the thing after
04.
Yeah, but I also lived with these motherfuckers during 03. You know what I mean?
Boone home run. Yeah.
I see that happen. The Patriots go undefeated. A lot of my friends are Eagles fans, so for them to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, to have Terrell Owens shut the fuck up, blah blah blah.
T.O. had a game. That wasn't his fault.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I'm not a super fan at this point, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had a game on one foot.
I could probably name 10 Patriots players, if that, during these times in the years that they're actively going on. You know what I mean? So I go back and I watch this shit, and it's like what put me on is like Mike Vrabel has the best receiving his stat line of all time. 12 for 12, 12 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Damn.
So I go back, I fucking watch all the Tom Brady touchdown passes to Mike Vrabel, and the one against the Eagles hits him in the hands, he bobbles it, he catches it still on like a fucking... It's towards the back corner of that end zone. So he's got to catch it, put his feet in or his knees, whatever. And then he fucking gets up and he does the fucking...
The Dirty Bird? Yeah.
Well, the Dirty Bird's from Atlanta, right? But he does the fucking fly Eagles fly thing. Yeah. And that fucking got me so fired up. I had to hit our boy Jacob, who's also a Patriots super fan and remembers everything.
Yeah.
And he just went on this high functioning autism rant of like all the cool things Mike Vrabel's ever done. And so I just been fucking fired up about that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do care, but every time I do catch myself watching football or getting emotionally invested in it, I'm like the
Roman circus.
The dark powers. I
can't enjoy anything.
Yeah. No, I can enjoy it. But I will say, I did want to put on this list that, like, it's just not the same when your guy's not there anymore.
Oh, like Tom?
Yeah. Like, when you don't have your bro to be, like, rooting for that you love.
Yeah.
The intensity that I watched Tom Brady's last playoff game, it's the year that Stafford beats him in the playoffs. They go on to win the game, win the Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
But I watched that. My wife came downstairs and told me to be quiet. Like, that's how much noise I was making. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was fucking so emotionally invested in that game. Like, that was one of the best back-and-forth games.
Yeah, well, it was a fucking great game.
That game, there's another game where it's like Romo against Peyton Manning, and, like, nobody punts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like
another thing like that.
Yeah.
Just such an exciting game. You know what I mean? But the emotional thing there, like, wanting to see my guy win, wanting to see him, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I felt like my will was helping my dude. You know what I mean? And now it's like there's nobody in the league that I fucking care about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest guy in the Patriots that I care about now is the coach that I used to watch before I knew about the Roman circus.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's nobody on the team. Like I'm not sitting here like fucking Drake May's coming, bro.
Yeah.
Drake May, you don't know about him.
Yeah.
And also like you want to be, if you do want my sports take, which I'm sure nobody does, like it's not like the Patriots took Drake May #1 overall amongst a consensus where Caleb Williams was the best.
Yeah.
You picked third. They took the other 2 quarterbacks off the board.
Yeah.
You had to make
the leftovers.
0 decision.
Yeah.
Like you got so lucky that guy fell to you and you actually picked him instead of like Marvin Harrison Jr. or something like that.
Yeah.
Which he had a great rookie season. Not a lot of people are going to give him love on that because they didn't do anything, but he did do well.
Yeah.
But like you didn't do like there's nothing to celebrate.
Well,
you lost the best quarterback of all time. You ran the best coach of all time out the door. And then even before that, you fucking had Cam Newton. You had Mac. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's just it. Revisionist history anyway, though. It's like everyone wants to like be like, Drake May's the guy. We'll be good. We'll be good. It's like, remember when Mac Jones like led you to a playoff game his rookie year? Like, it's not like, I don't know, man. This kid could fucking suck next year.
I saw on Barstool they ranked Mac Jones as like the best, worst quarterback of all time.
The best, worst quarterback of all time?
Yeah, because like when he came in, he played for the Jags a little bit this season, and he like be fucking making first downs, and he does all these little dances and shit, and it's like, bro, you have titties, and you're a backup, and you're only playing because like the guy's hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shut up. Yeah. You got a first down.
I mean, he's a fine backup, and backups in the league still get paid fucking $12 million, so fuck it. Good for him.
I mean, he's got that fucking picture of him like smoking the cigar with his man tits.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Dude won national championships. More than
remember
I can say
when
for
like
myself.
everybody used to be, they put that picture up and then Brady being like fat at the combine or not jacked or whatever. We're like, we got him.
Yeah,
we got him. Oh, but we didn't bring this back into perspective when we were talking about your boy Stafford.
Yeah,
it's like, what is this, 3 years in a row where it's lining up that the Lions have to play Matt Stafford in the playoffs again?
We got to beat the Commanders first, but yeah. I mean, I think the Rams are going to beat the Eagles. I know that's a hot take, but that
defense looked pretty good last night. And I don't know if that's just to do with
Darnold,
Sam Darnold.
Darnold, I think, is getting exposed. But
somebody told me that they never seen somebody lose $100 million in 2 football games before.
Yeah, basically. He was absolutely going to be the starting quarterback of the Vikings for a while, and now I doubt he'll even be the starting quarterback on week 1.
You could think that he would get at least that Baker Mayfield like 3 for $100 deal on a conservative end. You know,
I think at least he gets franchise tags. Now I don't even know if he's going to get that. Like at this point, like. I think that what was going to end up happening is the Vikings were going to tag him and then probably like sign some sort of like You know, two
They're
year.
going to tag him and let J.J. McCarthy recover from his injury and fucking send him off to the...
Well, I think the plan probably was to tag him and then probably to sign him to like a 3-year deal that was actually a 2-year deal, and then that could be like 23 or 24 million a year
it's like
or something.
a 3-year deal with a void year.
Yeah,
and the
3 years,
and the 2 years
90
would
million
equate to what the franchise tag would be in the first place.
Yeah. 3-year, 100 million, and he was going to get like only like 50 or 60 of it. So
that's still crazy, bro. Getting like, I feel like I remember Brady signing like a 6-year, $60 million or 5-year, $50 million deal, and now these guys, a good quarterback's making that in one season.
Yeah,
like Dak's making that. Lamar, I think, is making that.
Yep. Deshaun Watson.
Bro, what about him?
Yeah.
Did you see he ruptured his Achilles for the second time, or ruptured it during the.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this is like TikTok shit that I fucking got down, but I thought I heard somebody say that the Browns are going to try and like void that contract.
He's
right?
like TikTok dancing with his lady or something without a walking boot and shit.
Yeah. Which good for them. Fuck him. Well, actually, not good for them.
I hope it happens, bro. If you're if he really is I mean, here's what I got in trouble believing.
What do you mean?
That there's traveling masseuses who aren't there to come over your house to jerk you off.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you
at the same time, though, where there's smoke, there's fire. Fucking like 20 of these broads come out saying this shit. It's kind of like,
yeah. So like, did he just not pay you?
Maybe.
Like,
either way, fuck you.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're not like that's got to be the worst. Like, we talked about this last time where it was like the door-to-door salesman in there, like Monroe Dairy Farm or something, right?
Yeah.
And you're having this like 5'3" skinny girl knock on my door. It's like I could easily drag this girl in my house, rape, kill, and dismantle the body. And who saw it?
Yeah. I mean, could you easily do that? Are you doing that to people?
No. I'm not a big guy. I'm telling you, she's a frail little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're sending a frail little girl door to door to try to sell milk and cheese deliveries. Like, to me, it's
but these girls aren't door to door. I mean, there's like
you're agreeing to some fucking.
You're going to somebody's door, but that doesn't make you door to door. It's not like she's knocking on Deshaun Watson's door and then like going into like Inglewood knocking on somebody else's door. It's like, no, she's like, that's the area that she's.
Either way, bro, you're like being summoned to somebody's house for a massage.
Yeah.
I've tried to get massages my whole life. Like, I love getting a couples massage, me and my wife, if we got a day off together, or like an anniversary gift or something like that. Like, it's something you got to plan. Yeah, they're not coming to you. Like, you search that shit. It's not like, we'll come to your house.
Yeah. Yeah, but they'll come to your house if you're on the level of like celebrity that Deshaun Watson is.
Yeah, but there's like,
and just because they go to your house doesn't mean that they're gonna fucking suck your knob afterwards.
What I'm trying to say is I feel like you're being nicer about this.
Me? Or
yeah. Well, like, look, just because they're a traveling massage therapist doesn't mean they'll suck cock for money. Like, yes, it fucking does, bro. Because if you were a real massage therapist, you'd fucking have someplace where people went.
They probably do, and then they also probably make house calls for the people who are willing to pay
for like
$3,000 for
$3,000 for a hand job, bro. Like, and then maybe he just doesn't pay him. Like, rappers are famous for like not paying their barbers.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to travel to somebody's house,
I feel like we're bordering on racist here.
You are. You're bringing it up.
Just saying. All those rappers and professional athletes not paying their bills.
Yeah.
Also showing up late to things.
Being 400 years late. I mean, I don't know. We want to move on to being racist against somebody else. Or maybe not racist, but vindicating of something like Portuguese kale soup.
Yeah.
Why are we calling it that?
Throw a bunch of garbage in a pot. And
like, why is it got to be Like, I know up here, especially, we'd be making fun of people for their bloodlines. Like, calling somebody a Portuguese is like a fucking cheapo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, Portuguese kale soup to me implies that
Is Portuguese a cheap thing? Is that a thing in Rhode Island? I never heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it's like a less like you can still get away with being racist towards Italians and Portuguese people, but you can't be like, that's a fucking Jew thing to do.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
You can be like, that's a fucking Portuguese fucking, yeah. So like, that's where I'm at though. Like, I just saw this thing recently that like kale. When the fuck did we start eating kale? In like the 90s, the biggest purchaser of kale in the world was Pizza Hut. Because they'd be using the kale to garnish the salad bar. You use kale as a garnish for the salad bar. You didn't eat the kale. The kale made the salad look more appetizing.
I'm gonna derail you for a second here. I just want the audience to know that you've decided to spend more time researching who the number one buyer of kale was in the United States than watching like Braveheart. I just want that to be known.
Yeah, but I didn't research that. I picked up the trivia on a doom scroll.
Okay. Well, either way, like, how the fuck does anyone even know that?
Bro. Undiagnosed. Undiagnosed. So anyway, like, I don't know why we just don't call it, like, sausage and kale soup is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And also it brought me to this diatribe where, like, I looked at Spain and Portugal, and, like, that's just one fucking country.
Yeah.
Like, there's the Pyrenees Mountains. That's like a natural land border separating the two things. It's like, so Portugal is just like the California of Spain, and you guys just think that you're a whole different country because you're on the other side of the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Like, do you look any different from a Spaniard? Like, if I lined up Portuguese people and Spaniards, do they look any different?
Yeah. I mean, it's the equivalent of, like, Spain thinking that they're a different country than, like, New Hampshire.
But then
like, what are we doing here?
But then it brought me back into a, like, 8th grade biology class where it was like, I know that there's two separate species of squirrels that live on opposite sides of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
So a natural geologic thing does create a genetic bottleneck where they no longer recognize people or a species as mates anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what's going on.
Squirrels ain't fucking each other?
You're just like, nah, they don't. They're two different species.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what happened with Spain and Portugal now. You're just on the other side of the mountain, just drifting apart.
I guess
so.
So
You're just, really, it's like Spain or Portugal is like the Australia or like the Louisiana of Spain.
Of the Iberian Peninsula?
Yeah, you're just like this weird, like, fucking redneck, isolated genetic bottlenecking thing.
Yeah.
And, like, the Portuguese people just got blessed to have, like, strong hairlines and tans.
Oh, they're fucking hairy as fuck.
Yeah, like, they're like, I don't know. They're like everything the white inbred wishes that they could be.
Yeah. Well, hold up.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. You know why they're all tan, right? Why they all have dark hair and everything?
Is it because of the Moors?
It is, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah,
No.
they, like, invaded. That was, like, what the Crusades were all about. Like, the Moors, like, invading, like, Spain and fucking...
I did hear
Italy. Yeah.
I can't think of the joke. Oh, it was a terribly racist joke where it says, do you know what separates man from beast?
I don't like where this is going, but all right.
And the answer to the question was the Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, that's not fun.
But we're saying that those guys are fucking got tans because the Moors came in and beat the fuck out of them all Viking style.
Yeah, but that's the fact of it. I mean, it's the same reason why, like, fucking Irish people have, like
Black Irish?
Well, no, not Black Irish. It's the opposite. They all got fucked up by the Scandinavians and shit. But that's like typical Irish. I think was originally like that. That was the red hair fucking shit or whatever. But the reason that you have like blonde hair and blue-eyed Irish people is because of fucking Sweden and fucking Norway and all that shit.
Just they coming and being Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings. They fucked up Ireland like royally in like the fucking whatever the 800s or 900s.
To me, that's why like all this 23andMe and shit doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, because I mean we've all been raped by somebody. Yeah,
like basically, so like you're of this genetics.
Yeah,
but you can be of those genetics and still be located someplace else.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So like,
well,
what is it really fucking telling you?
Yeah,
like,
well, exactly. It's like what point in time are you choosing to believe that? Like, because even then, like you have the the reason Anglo-Saxon like that shit. Well, the fucking Saxons were all the Vikings. They're all that was like the hybrid of those people. So all the motherfuckers in England are just like the people that were originally there, fucked by the Vikings and shit like that. And that's who the people are there that live there. But yeah, it's like what point in time are you choosing to be like, well, I'm fucking 33% fucking Portuguese or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, but the fucking people who are living in Portuguese, it's not like you fucking the Big Bang happened and the motherfuckers were sitting there like, I'm from Portugal. It's like, nah, man, you're fucking all you are the motherfuckers that lived here combined with the motherfuckers down here combined with the motherfuckers up here. Like everyone's just fucking each other. Yeah.
I got two things being triggered by the Big Bang.
What?
A, if the Big Bang is really how it all started,
yeah,
why aren't we reading the Quran more seriously? And
yeah.
B, I talked about two of the most racist things that I've ever, jokes or whatever that I heard on the last episode, but I never got around to the second one.
Okay.
And the second one is somebody asked their uncle what his favorite day in history was.
Yeah.
And he said it was the second time that we dropped the bomb on Japan.
Okay. Why?
Because we got him again.
All right.
That just stuck with me. Like, if I could witness that at a Thanksgiving, my life would be, like, complete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my grandfather's generation was the part of my family that, like, didn't trust the Asians.
Well,
Because even when he was dying in the hospital, like, he did have one Asian nurse, and every time she left, he'd be like, I don't trust her.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yo, are you just doped up on Percocets right now and telling the truth? Or, like, what's the deal?
You guys should have dressed her up like a plane and just had her fucking crash into his like fucking defibrillator.
That would have been funny.
No, the fucking grandparents did not like Japanese people. That was they did not forget. My grandmother was I think I've said this before. She was a WAC, one of the fucking like women armed forces or whatever. And yeah, she, Japanese people were not liked by her.
There's like a Shane Gillis clip. Like, he has like some thing where he talks about history.
Yeah.
As like one of his, online platforms or whatever. And it's like he's talking about watching this, like, it's an English documentary. So they're like interviewing, it's an English documentary about Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So they're interviewing Americans and Japanese that survived the occasion. And there's like a Japanese pilot or something. I don't know how the fuck he survived, but he's basically saying that he crashed his plane like into the wrong boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, it still sticks with me to this day that I didn't hit whatever. And then it cuts to Shane being like, it's got me fired up. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause he's all about being a patriot and shit.
Yeah.
And I think
so much so that he dropped out of West Point.
yes. That's a funny story too. Because you know what's pretty funny for Shane? It's like he's like a big dude and stuff, but he's not shy at all about confirming how much of a pussy he's been in his life. Like, he's like, they shaved my head, I started crying, they told me I could go home if I wanted to, and he said I want to go home. You know, like, or like even like when he's very
he owns it.
Yeah, or like I don't know. There's a bigger word I'm trying to come up with, but I don't read.
No. Well, I mean, there are a lot of guys that would have just like dropped out of West Point, but then just failed to mention that and just said to people like, "Yeah, I went to West Point." It's like, but did you?
Well, he has like a funny thing where I think he says it on Rogan. He's like, my resume is actually pretty impressive. He's like, because I am a wartime veteran. I'm a former cast member of Saturday Night Live. He's like, and I played football at West Point. Yeah. And he's like, but actually, I never did any of that. Yeah. So,
well, it's all about what reads on the resume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Running short on the list. We can talk about
what's Mel Gibson on Rogan? What did he say?
Bro. He's talking.
Was it anything crazier than what he normally says?
Yes, because it's like true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like he's talking about how he had friends that had like they were in like real bad like what is it, like stage 4 of cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they started taking like ivermectin and they started taking it's like a blue fabric dye, but for whatever reason it has like anti-cancer benefits and they don't ever prescribe it to anybody. And he's like, and they've never been better. And he's like talking like he's a wild boy now. He's all grayed out. You know what I mean? Like it's like a 3-hour podcast. I just haven't got around to watching the whole thing. But basically he's just like confirming all of these other conspiracy theories. And like the 5 minutes that I did watch, it's like, yo, Mel Gibson is like really trying to never ever make a movie again.
Yeah.
Like he's getting himself kicked out of Hollywood.
Well, I mean, I think he already has at this point.
Didn't he go on like the anti-Jew rant before he made The Passion of the Christ?
No, that was after. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, he just got done rapping on a movie that was all about how Jews killed him, It'd
be so funny if he just showed up to like court and he was like, I was still in character. I just couldn't get out of it. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah. Now he well, that's just it. You can't say shit like that with it's not like the Jews control the media or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into a lot. I've been into a lot of that stuff lately. Like there's a lot of sketchy stuff about the Jews in 9/11 as well. About them like knowing about it happening beforehand, or there's like a thing that you can look up called like
well, I mean, historically speaking, the Jews and the Muslims are a very close-knit group of people. Like I'm shocked that they didn't just rat them out right off the bat.
I just think that it's crazy that like I feel like my boy Dan Bilzerian has said something to this effect.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like the way that you settled World War II was that like there are all these countries in Middle Europe that threw the Jews out, right?
Yeah.
So instead of like giving the Jews their home back somewhere in Middle Europe where you took them from, they're like, nah, like why don't you just have this like we're gonna like Native American style, like
have this
stick you in the middle of the desert.
Shit desert.
Yeah. And by the way, you're gonna be like surrounded by people that fucking hate you and don't think you should be here in the first place.
Yeah.
Like what was the logic on that?
That'll end well.
Like what was the logic? Like there can't unless this was like the Crusades that happened under the dark of night.
Yeah.
What was the fucking logic behind this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if you wanted to make things right by the bad things that were done in World War II, then technically maybe the Jews should have gotten to take over Germany.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like that should have been, and then you should have sent all those fucking assholes that rounded them up and put them in gas chambers to the desert.
Yeah.
Like to me, that would have been a karmic solution to things. But instead, you expect me to believe that like there's not this underlying thing going on. We're like,
yeah,
I think we're gonna drop them in right here, and we're gonna be forever military partners with them. So we always got an airplane base to go to and shit. Like,
yeah, I mean that probably is what was going on. Yeah.
I don't know what just made me think of it too, but it's pretty crazy that like at one point like the tiny island of fucking England like owned the whole world.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they do that? It was that good at building boats?
So they were fucking half Viking. That's why.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's been in their blood for years.
Bro, you know what a cool thing I saw about a Viking ship is that they were like smart enough to build a Viking ship with like the bottom of the ship was like ribbed.
Yeah.
So like when the ship took off, like it would trap air in those ribs,
and
there would be less friction of the boat on the water.
Huh.
So like you could be fucking cruising. You're making like fast boats. Like that's some ingenuity.
It is. I mean, I
like that shit.
Yeah.
And also I was thinking about some Viking shit. Like I'm not going to say that I'm dwelling on it, but it's like my oldest dog is just getting older and older. You know what I mean? I had that emergency visit on Christmas and stuff. You know what I mean? And he's doing well now. Not that he's like knocking on death's door or anything.
Right.
But I just, that shit creeps in. Like, what are you going to do with him when he dies? You know what I mean? You're going to cremate him. You're going to bury him in your backyard. Whatever the deal may be.
Yeah.
And I just think like Rambo's fucking exit from this planet, he deserves like the fire Viking ship. Like in the middle of a lake or something.
Sure, you can swing that.
Yeah, I feel like you got to like sneak out to a lake and like.
Yeah, you got to.
I don't think you can get. I don't think you can get a permit from the city of Pawtucket.
Show up to the town hall and be like, "I'm going to set my dog ablaze."
I'm trying to give my dog an honorable death funeral march down the 10-mile river, if you don't mind.
Let me ask you, how much do you know about Valhalla?
Oh, dude, speaking of fucking guys with Viking helmets, bro, there's like a viral clip of the insurrectionist guy.
Yeah, the whatever the fuck was, September 6th or what fucking date was it? January 6th? I don't know.
But there's some interview where he's like, they're talking to him and like, when it came out, you're like, look at how fucking crazy this guy is.
Yeah.
And now literally like everything he says in this has like come true.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have any solid examples to back this up
I was going to say, is there something that he was right about that you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, just basically like saying like that the whole media and everything like that is a psyop of just repeating information enough to where like if the masses hear it enough, then it has to be true.
Yeah.
And then anybody going against what's been stated so many times will just automatically be painted as like the village idiot and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like,
I mean, that's always been true.
He's like saying this, and then there's like the montage of like the news from all the different states saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just like he's talking about kind of like the transgender movement in school where we're taking, everybody's gender away and forcing this on the kids and stuff. Like just, I don't know, just like a lot of the stuff that's been hitting on like the news cycles, like that this guy was talking about. It's like, yeah, dude, like they're kind of just like repeating the same bullshit. And like, if you question anything, then it's.
I mean, I don't know. When it comes to that kind of shit, especially like the transgender shit in schools, it's like, I have 3 school-aged kids, and granted, they're still young. I have 1 in middle school, so maybe it's coming. But like, I haven't noticed anything like when it comes to that kind of shit.
But when you hear about that stuff, it's always in like elementary school.
Yeah, so I mean, that case.
So it's like
I don't know.
We may be in a blue state, but it's not that blue.
Yeah, maybe.
Where like. Yeah, because
in which case though, like I'm fine if you want to have a fucking elementary school that teaches about kids about transgender shit and in the fucking heart of, in like one of your liberal like alcoves in fucking New York City, I don't give a fuck. That's your prerogative. Whatever.
If it's in public school, I do have a problem with it. But if it's in like a private school where you,
but all
as
I'm
a parent, digest the
weird liberals are just going to make more weird liberals. Like, you guys can go talk to yourselves and stay in your little echo chamber.
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck what you think about anything. And that goes for like weird fucking conservatives too.
I would just say like leave the sex out of it until you start talking about sex.
Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about the transgender community, bring it up in health class when you tell kids about sex education.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like leave it until then. But I don't think you need to be telling a third grader about fucking.
Yeah, no,
they're not thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like you could be the most transgender teacher in the world, and to a third grader, you're just a person.
Yeah.
They don't fucking know any better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're just instilling the fact that you can hate people because they're different from you at a way earlier age in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. And I've seen like multiple, like on the doom scroll, like teachers that just look like fucking freak shows.
Yeah.
Being like, well, after my first day of class, like half of the parents took their children out of the school. It's like, well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're the one rolling around looking like a fucking circus freak. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't just like it's not a normal looking person. This person looks like the fucking bad guy from 300.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking transitioned male with a shaved head and female characteristics and a fucking nose ring connected to their ear and a fucking voice that sounds like it belongs to fucking Elmo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? If you go, just the same thing that we were talking about with all this, like, reinforcement of the words and ideas.
Yeah.
You're the one person going against the grain in this situation.
Yeah.
And you expect the rest of the people to turn around and go against the grain with you because you're a goofball.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I'd react, I guess, if my kids were in that situation. But I'm just telling you, my experience has been that, like, we haven't had anything weird, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where those... So, again, is this just fucking some bullshit...
I think a lot of
made up media, like this person isn't even a teacher, and I'm just being a dumbass in the doom scroll.
I kind of
totally
think
possible.
I think a lot of that is. I don't, not to say that it doesn't exist in some form or another, but I think a lot of the things that are designed to kind of rowl up one side or the other are just plants. Basically, it's just like that isn't actually happening, Or if it is, it's on such a small scale that, like, I don't know. I get.
Or like the drag queens, like, reading books to kids.
Yeah.
Like, how does that not instantly become, like, a school shooting where it's, like, a dad in a pickup truck? It's like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. Well, that's just
like,
it.
I just don't get how it goes that far.
Right, yeah. I just don't see how that it actually is going on,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Wag the dog.
Wag the dog. As long as we're just both pissed off at each other, that's all that matters. You got reasonable, rational human beings believing... diametrically opposed things, and then we fucking end up, like, just killing each other.
Yeah, if you do that, then you can't unite to overthrow the shadow government.
Yeah, or just
that's the plan.
Yeah, you really can't get anything accomplished otherwise, because you have to just kind of keep everyone busy fighting battles that aren't actually being fought, So yeah,
I don't know. I think we got a new term to introduce to the American lexicon.
Yeah, I heard this last night. There was a girl who's from Philadelphia talking about her Eagles at the bar last night. She's a fucking trash bag. Literally looked like, she had like a leopard printed shirt with like a weird like updo, like almost like Amy Winehouse style. She looked like just like a fucking degenerate. I don't even know.
The first thing that came to my mind at that point is like, does anal.
Oh, for sure.
The other pointing was like you were going to say it was Christy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of gave
it's
her.
It's a Venn diagram that checks all circles, my friend.
But she, she was just sitting there doing her normal, like, ratchet shit where, like,
I like the birds.
Yeah, well, it's just we see this all the time in this business where it's just like girl sits down at a bar and then proceeds to just wait until somebody buys her a drink and then latches onto them and like talks to them.
She didn't tell you about the bargoyle. She is the bargoyle.
She is the bargoyle. So
we've checked all three circles for the Christy Vader Venn diagram.
So she's over there talking to these two dudes who are like clearly married and clearly just like wanting nothing to do with her or whatever. But
let me ruin your life.
Yeah. One of the other servers comes up to me and she goes, what's with the bargoyle? And I'm like, the bargoyle? She's like, yeah, the gargoyle that's sitting at the end of the bar. I'm like, that's a fucking great term. It's like, that's absolutely what they are. Just like sitting perched on the end of the bar, like just looming over everyone, just waiting for somebody to like come in contact with them. It's like, you're a fucking bargoyle.
Your brain is like processing the knowledge that she just gave you, and like your heart is growing like in the Grinch.
Yeah, exactly.
For your love for this person.
Like, oh my God, it's a great term. Yeah. So yeah, the bargoyles just fucking sitting there creeping everybody out.
I mean, there's a lot of bargoyles at the tavern. And that kind of leads me...
yeah, that's that vibe for sure.
Yeah. It kind of leads me into this guy that I waited on.
Yeah.
And a lot of my Saturday regular guys are like car dudes.
Yeah.
And I've been on the hunt for like another car. I'm like torn between like getting something cool again and just getting like another commuter, if you will. You know what I mean? Like I left the cool car game. I bought a commuter with full knowledge that this commuter is going to have a transmission problem in the near future.
Yep.
So I'm trying to put myself to not be in the position to have to go rent a car. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, do I just buy another $2,500 car from a grandma kind of sale again and go down that road and then fix the transmission in the Honda and then sell one of the cars off? You know what I mean? Or do I just put like that $2,500 down on like a $15,000 car and go down that road on like a 3-year loan?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're talking about all this. One of the guys, he does like auto auctions and stuff, and he sends me a couple links. He knows I'm a fucking Cobra guy. One of them's like a 96 drop top, black on black 5-speed. It's just like the Mustang that I have, but it's a black on black convertible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he sends me another one, which is kind of that car is like 15 grand. This other car is like 26 or 27 grand. 2012 GT 500, which is like a substantial step up in power to like the next level.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these are fucking cool. Da da da. So now we're talking cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this one dude, he's like sitting at a table. And he's like, you know, I used to have a Chevy Corvair. Not a lot of people even know what a Chevy Corvair is. And I'm like, well, we obviously do because we're all car guys. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't understand why you're barking. And also, you're wearing, like, the coat from Triple X, like, with, like, the
fur? Like, almost like a
but
bomber's
it's almost
jacket?
like fur. Yeah, but it's like fur that, like, it has like Liberty spikes to it. You know, like it almost looks like the jacket that the guy from Little Nicky's wearing, like one of his brothers.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has like I don't know how to describe it. It has like fucking Liberty spikes in it. You know what I mean? And he's sitting there telling me, like, you know what I mean? Just like waiting for me to be like, oh, that's so fucking cool. You had a Corvair. Like, and if you don't know, like a Corvair is like a little 2-door drop top that wasn't even cool when it came out. But like when it did come out, all the gearheads would rip the stock motor out and put a big fat motor in there.
Right.
And now essentially you have this fucking like go-kart that weighs nothing with, you know, 400 or 500 horsepower. Yeah. And like those are what the cool Corvairs was. But this guy's just talking about riding around. Like, okay, so you have a cool survivor car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Basically like, so you have a rarer car of the road. And I don't know. He just wouldn't give it up. And I was just like, dude, like, what do you want from us in this conversation? Like, do you want us to start Googling Corvairs and discussing this only model of car?
Yeah.
And like, clearly, like, we were all talking about fucking Mustangs before this.
Yeah.
We were talking about Fords, bro. You're on the wrong... You're in the wrong tribe. You know what I mean? You're getting a bunch of Ford guys to try to talk about a Chevy. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Just have dinner with your wife who thinks that code is cool.
Right.
Like,
that's what I love about New England, because there is that element of like, if I'm having a conversation with you and then all of a sudden somebody from over here like fucking like pipes in, like there's almost like the communal, like everyone just turns to that guy and is just like, fuck you. You know, like nobody gives a fuck what you're saying.
That's actually like how we became friends. Because we were out for a night on the town with Ryan Hydecavage, and me and you started going back and forth about the Patriots a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this other guy jumps in trying to talk shit to you. And I'm like, hey, I'm talking shit to this guy right now. This is my friend's friend. And I'll fucking fight you over him right now. Like,
I remember that, dude.
That was great. That was at XO before they closed, I think.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good memory. I'm surprised you remembered even your name.
Yeah, especially I was drinking then, bro. You didn't want to go out
you were
with me
fucking
back
laying
in the
out.
day. I was fucking having like a bottle of Tito's with some grapefruit juice.
Yeah, and even the guy who was talking shit, though, he was like talking shit like, oh, the Lions suck. And I'm like, yeah, I know the Lions suck. Thank you. Like, I appreciate you piping that in with that.
But
and then you just like, you just got in the guy's face. You're like, what the fuck did you say? And it's like, dude, who gives a shit? You know?
Ryan and
You're
I
about
were
to go to
both
jail
literally
over
like,
this
"Hey,
shit. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That was great.
We're
going to get Ryan back on the show.
Yeah.
That's a drive for him, though.
Is it? He lives in Cranston. How far is that from here?
I feel like he lives in Warwick, doesn't he?
Nah, he's Cranston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cranston.
Maybe it's a similar drive to what you're taking to get over here.
Yeah. It takes 20 something minutes.
We got to invite him. We're inviting him next time.
Yeah.
Jameson's also reached out about getting back on the show.
We can have Jameson back on. Yeah.
He was like, I feel like we had like a 2 or 3 week time span where we were like, nah, we got a guest.
Yeah.
And then it fell apart at the end. And like he was off like on Tuesdays or whatever for like 2 weeks. And he was like, hey, I'm available. And like every time we would finish up shooting, I'd be like, fuck, man, I should have reached out to him and told him like, yo, we had problems with the guests. We didn't fucking forgot to tell you to come on. Like,
yeah.
Oh, well.
Have you heard from fucking
From Lana?
Lana, yeah.
Yeah, we talk like, I don't know, every 2-3 days or something.
Yeah.
We fucking send reels to each other and shit still.
I was going to say, every now and again, she sends a reel to me, and I was like, I didn't realize we were, like, real friends.
Ooh.
Yeah. Usually you're the only one fucking filling, like, never mind.
Nice.
I was going to say filling my inbox.
Filling my inbox with the void.
You're the only one filling me, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, apparently she had... I think that she's like in a town where like the lunch service doesn't make too much money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Last I spoke,
not much industry.
Yeah. Last I spoke, she was like trying to get more of like, you know, maybe do like a 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Yeah.
And supplement a little bit with
bartend a night or two.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to, you know, as we unlock the nerd days, as we're calling them, to see if we can bring
bring somebody else into it.
Yeah, from like a satellite position, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think first is just figuring out how to actually make a reel.
Yeah. But I mean, I texted her the other day that I had made great money on a Monday, and she was like, fuck you, I made like $40 today. But then like I worked Monday yesterday and I only made like $200, and I wanted to text her and be like, hey, see?
Yeah.
I did bad.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
Yeah, but your bad was still 4 times better than her bad.
Yeah.
But she's probably paying fucking $1.67 for a gallon of milk down there.
Yeah. And I think she put herself I think she like just has like utilities and a car payment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? She bought her condo with the profits that she made from selling her house.
Yeah.
So it's like you took the biggest expense out of your life, and now like what? You just got to I mean, you might not be exchanging your time for the amount of money that you want to, but are you getting what you need
right? Yeah, you're living.
Survive?
Yeah.
And, you know, do you need to, maybe you're just more rich in spending time with your daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would think if I had kids, I would want to spend as much time with them in their formative years as I could to make sure like that one bad friend that they make doesn't ruin them for 20 years, you know? Like,
oh, that's inevitable. All my kids have like that one bad friend where I'm like, oh, fuck, it's this kid. I know this kid very well.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, it's just like...
Do you like give him a hard time when he comes over?
Well, no, it's just I literally go to like their fucking, you know, their schools or whatever, and they're like, you know, showing me like pictures of like that all their friends drew, and there's like one picture of like the kid drawing like, you know, some dude getting his fucking head cut off or something. I'm like, let me guess, that's your best friend. He's like, this is my best friend. I'm like, of course it's your best friend. So like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like we have like a goddamn genetic, you know, fucking disability in my family where it's like, let me find the biggest piece of shit in this room because I'm going to be the best friends with that kid, you know?
I just had this vision of like me having to like babysit your kids and you come home and we're all drawing Barney being murdered.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
So
I
used to draw like Barney getting like all fucked up at like recess and stuff with my friends, and I had like a big folder of all these, and then my mom found them, and they thought I was like mentally disturbed, and they like asked me if I had any problems.
I mean, I think it's definitely a hypothesis they should have explored a little more.
I mean, you
might be mentally disturbed, you know?
Yeah, the fact that all of the grudge holding and murder lists,
shit.
Yeah, you know,
that dude owes me $18. Fuck him forever. I'll kill him if I see him again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how my brain works.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else, though.
Think I'm good.
Yeah. I just wanted to finish this episode with putting on wax something that could get me potentially fired.
Well,
I'm okay with it.
Let's clip it out if you change your mind.
Those motherfuckers ain't listening to this shit.
Hey, people have been listening. Like, share, and subscribe. We fucking got more subscribers than last time that I looked.
Oh, do we?
Hey.
Nice.
I think we're on to like 60-something now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at us.
I've been shamelessly plugging us at the airport. So if you're watching us, yeah, I bet you didn't think I talked like this when I waited on you with that double screwdriver.
I was going to say. I was like, well, hey, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, later, guys.